trail cam footage and check on the new bait that my wife picked up for me for my upcoming birthday. It's a quick in and out deal, but I wanted to take the opportunity while I was out here to let y'all know that we got a bit of a warm-up coming, and all of this snow is going to start melting today, tomorrow, Monday. We got a bit of a thaw coming out for the next week, which means things are going to clear up to come out shed hunting and do some other things that will help with the shed hunt. So we're going to be doing that, and we're going to come up with some rigs to help snag us some racks if we can, get them close to the trail cam. So tomorrow we'll be out here filming all day long, and we're going to do a live stream tomorrow as well. I'm thinking tomorrow we'll be streaming from camp. It's going to be an all-day deal, so we'll come out, we'll do some early morning shit, and then about lunchtime, around noon, 11:30 noon, somewhere around in there, we'll head on down to the camp, get warmed up, fix us some lunch, and kind of regroup from filming the first half of the day and see what we can come up with for the second half of the day. And what I'm thinking is, I'll come out and I'll do my filming up until about noon. Oh, there's some big tracks. That might be HB's track right there. That's almost the size of my hand. There's a big deer. What I was saying is I'll come out and I'll do filming for next week's Huntsman's episode for the first half of the day. We'll go down to camp and have lunch, and I'll talk to you guys and a live stream down there and see what you guys want me to do for the second half of the day. So it'll be one of those deals where you, the viewers, get to tell me where to go and what to do for the second half of next week's episode. Hey buddy, thanks for stopping in. We're just making a quick trip in and out, talking about a little event we're having tomorrow. So yeah, like I said, I'll come out, I'll do some filming for the first half of the day, about 11:30 or noon. I'll be down at camp. We'll do a live stream from camp, and I'll be asking you guys what you want to see me do for the second half of the day. And it could be anything. So anybody who wants to tune into that live stream tomorrow, we're just going to say we'll do it at noon. Tune into the live stream, come with your suggestions. You guys can kind of hash it out there in the chat of what you want to see in the second half of next week's Huntsman's episode. It could be doing something there at the camp. It could be coming up here shed hunting, tracking HB down and seeing if we can get him on film. Anything you guys want to see. If I'm able to do it, then we'll get out here and do it. So part of next week's episode of Huntsman will be up to you guys. Sound cool? I think what we might be able to do too is, since this is going to be on you guys to sort of direct the second half of the episode, is we'll do the live stream down at the camp. Once you guys decide what you want to see me do for the second half of the video, we'll live stream kind of on-set, behind the scenes thing. I'll set the iPhone up somewhere in the background, and you guys on the live stream can watch me filming the part of the episode that you guys chose. So we can do that too. We're getting pretty close to the trail campsite. I came over here to the east a little bit, this wider open area. This area right here, where it's all wide open, might be a new site for the cam. And the only reason I do it in this wide open space is because it's easy to pick them up, and you can see the racks a lot better whenever you have a wide open space like this, as opposed to having all the trees around them. And that set of trees right up there would be a good spot to mount the cam. We do have some activity in the area. This looks kind of like a crossroads. I got trails coming this way, trails coming that way, and that way they just crisscross all through this open area. Now in the summertime, this is like a meadow. Got a little bit of thorns in there, rose hip. All this is high grasses. They like bedding down in this in the summertime, like when it's rainy and shit outside. This is where they'll come to. But lots of tracks coming through here, and that's a good wide open spot. Whitetail. All the deer in my area are whitetail deer. We don't have roebucks or anything like that up here. It's all whitetail. So I've been having some technical difficulties with the trail cam. The past couple of weeks, there's been a couple of times I've come out here and there was nothing on the cam at all. And I think the fella that's been coming up in here shed hunting has been screwing with the cam and deleting all of the footage on it. So this last setup I did, I put out black magic deer attractant in front of the cam, made sure the settings were all right, fresh memory card, fresh batteries, the whole deal. And I got it password protected, so even if he managed to get into the cam, he won't be able to access the footage or anything like that. I get up here and check on this thing, and it's still not recording. That means there's actually something wrong with the unit, and I might have to pull it today and then come back out tomorrow and reset it up. I'm getting tired of playing around with this guy out here, though. I don't mind some healthy competition whenever it comes to coming out here and tracking down sheds, but I just don't think it's right that you fuck with somebody else's gear, you know, while it's all going on. So I don't know what's happening with the guy. A lot of deer activity up in here. So here's where our cam is at. The black magic is still down, so we don't need to add to that. Hopefully we got something on here. I should have triggered that last image. I walked right in front of the cam. Hopefully I got something on here though. All right. Turn this around here. All I gotta do is put in my password here real quick and see if I got anything on it. If I do have something on it, everything's up and running just fine and we're good to go. I'll leave it here until I come out to do the new set tomorrow. And if it's not, then I'm gonna go ahead and pull a cam for the night. I'll be coming back to the same spot since I had the deer attracted down right here. But it means there's something wrong with the unit and I need to take it home and fiddle around with it and make sure it's working properly, so we can get our footage back up and running. Okay, I got 7 clips on here. Damn coyote came back in. We got a squirrel, that's new, and we got a guy on the cam. Let's check this out. It looks like a ghost. See that? Huh. Come on in there. Now, I don't know if that's a doe. See right there? It actually looks like a person on the cam, but that's just the deer's ear. But that might be a doe. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. I apologize. If that's a buck, his rack's already dropped. That one came in quick and just stayed off to the side of the cam. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, that looks like a doe. And there's where I came in and triggered it. Alright, so, yeah, it was a deer. The trail cam picked up some footage, but it wasn't a lot. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave her here for tonight and do some thinking. I'm just gonna turn it right back on. I don't need to do anything else to it because I only got 7 clips on there. Yeah, I was thinking this is a good spot, but 7 clips. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit better than that. And that doe that came in was just staying right off to the side. So I'll do some thinking on this tonight, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, as far as a new setup tomorrow goes, I'm not even gonna pull this footage right now. Get this set real quick here. All right. What the hell? We should be good to go now. Ooh, it's a little chilly out here today, guys, but not as cold as it was before. I'm just locking this trail cam up again here real quick. We're gonna leave it out here till tomorrow when I'm out here doing my regular filming, and we're probably gonna do a new setup. See what else we can come up with to get some better footage than what we've been getting. You guys want to know what the password to my trail cam is? Alright. Okay, trail cam's all locked back up now. Like I said, we're just gonna leave it there for tonight, and trying to come up with a different strategy while I'm out here. I gotta make a loop to get back up to the front, so I'll see if I can find some heavier trail. I mean, we had a lot of activity in here, but we just weren't picking up the deer like I wanted to, so something to think about. Now with this thaw coming in, the boys are going to be acting a little bit differently than they normally do. Check out these tracks. That's just dragging his foot. Another. Always paying attention to the forest floor. Now, for those of you that was in my last live stream, I was out here during the polar vortex, and I didn't have no gear or anything with me. We'll walk up here real quick. It was getting dark whenever I started that stream. We actually streamed that after nightfall, and we was hiking through all this shit, but nothing but lights. The lights started failing, the iPhone battery had froze up, and it was so cold out here it killed my iPhone in 13 minutes flat. This right here is the down tree that I was huddled up in whenever I started that stream. That was the only shelter that I had, and that was just a bit of a windbreak to get out of the wind. Man, it was so cold out here, it was nuts. Not a memorable, or not a good experience. But yeah, that was the only shelter I had during that sub-zero weather shit that I was pulling off there. Got the coyote tracks going right up underneath there. They've been using that thing as a shelter. We're gonna drop down here a little bit. I got a divide in the woods here I need to get across once we get on down the way. Just trying to stay out from directly in front of the cam. Now you see this ridge up here? I don't even know how well you can make it out on a video, but there's a ridge right there and it just drops right down. I was actually thinking about putting a trail cam down at the bottom of that ridge, because there's a lot of activity and it looked like the deer were trying to get down there in that lower area to get out of the wind. That's why I hiked up through there on the way in today. I wanted to see what the trails looked like. So for those of you who just came in, I'm gonna be out here all day tomorrow. We got a thaw coming in today. This is already starting to kind of slush up a little bit. Here's some fresh tracks. This is one dragging his foot. So you got tracks here, and then you got this drag mark, like he was limping. One deer went that way, the one that's dragging his hind leg, and then another deer turned off and went the other direction. I ain't seen the herd this morning though. I don't know where they're bedded down at. They might be bedded down by the creek, or they might be up in the meadow in the high grasses. Yep, wounded. I got one of the boys that are in the herd. I think it happened during the rut. Got his back leg busted up and was hobbling along. HB was hobbling along, so I think they were wrestling around, and it was right around the rut, and it just messed up his back leg. So seeing drag marks like that, it's probably the smaller buck that was wandering around with HB and the herd, and he was hobbling quite a bit. So was HB, but by the next week we had tracked them after we seen that they had been hurting each other, and it was right after we was catching them locking antlers on the trail cam. So I figured that one of them just pulled a muscle or something like that whenever they were wrestling around, locking their horns and doing all that fun shit. By the next week, HB was walking just fine, but that other one didn't really heal up right. Every time I see him, he's got a little bit of a hobble on that back leg, so I'm thinking that's what that drag mark is. We'll keep an eye on them, make sure that they're not getting hurt. I'm actually going to be coming out here tomorrow and kind of spending a good deal of time here in the morning. We're going to be doing the shed hunt, but that polar vortex that came in. Hey, good morning, Des Perona. That polar vortex that came in, we was getting wind chills here. I think our top wind chill was -40. That's really hard on the wildlife, and I want to make sure that none of the deer in the herd got froze up or got killed by that polar blast. So while we're out here shed hunting, we're also going to be keeping an eye out for carcasses, because yeah, that was a hard run for those guys. We got this section that we need to scout for sheds, and if you've seen last night's episode of Huntsman, right at the beginning of the episode, I had come across about close to a dozen deer around sunrise in the woods just south of here, and most of them were all bucks bedded together. So not only do we have the shed hunt here with HB and the 3 bucks that run with him, but we have a whole other herd just to the south of us we can go down there in that area and try to find some sheds too. So we have plenty of options for shed hunting. For those of you who just came in, I mentioned earlier, tomorrow, yeah, it's actually not too cold out here today. It's getting warmer. It's going to get up in the upper 30s, near 40 today. So all of this snow is going to be melting over the next few days, and every day that I can be out here, I'm going to be out here, because as soon as the snow melts, that's going to reveal a lot. If we have any antlers on the ground, once the snow's out of the way, it'll be easy to spot them, because everything will be wet. That's one of the tips to doing the shed hunting. Those sheds are kind of an off-white, sometimes a light brown. If you come out whenever the ground is really wet, all of the leaves are wet, they really pop against that darker background, and you can spot them a lot easier. So after this snow melts, it's going to be a prime landscape for shed hunting. Good morning, Larry. Thanks for stopping in. What I was saying there, tomorrow we're going to be out here. We're going to be scouting the woods after some of this snow melts down. It's going to be up around 40 degrees tomorrow, so it's going to be melting all day long. It's going to be wet and muddy out here by then, and that's fine. I'll be prepared for that. I'm going to come out. I'll be filming next week's episode of Huntsman early in the morning. Then we're going to go down at noon. We're going to be down at the camp, and we're going to do a live stream from down at the camp. Anybody that tunes into that live stream can make suggestions on what I do for the second half of the day. So the second half of next week's episode of Huntsman is viewer's choice, basically. You guys get to tell me what to do and where to go, what kind of activity you want me to do for next week's episode of Huntsman, and then you can tune in next week and see your top pick on film after you tell me what I'm doing. So that's how we're going to get involved with you guys a little bit more. We're going to start doing some episodes where you get to pick and choose what you see in the episode. We're going to have live streams, or we'll have a poll up in the community section of the channel. -21 in Alberta. Man, you're way up there too. Well, you're not too far from me. I'm like right on I'm on the southern end of the Canadian border down in northwest Ohio, but you're up there a little bit more than me. So what I was saying there, we're going to have a lot of viewer input on what you guys want to see in our regular Huntsman episodes that airs on Friday nights at 8. If you guys want to see bushcrafting at the camp, I'll film bushcrafting at the camp. If you want to see some shed hunting, then I'll film some shed hunting. If you want me to bust out the compound bow and we can do some shooting or some work with the compound bow, then we'll bust out the compound bow. But I want to have a live show, live stream, where I can get your guys' direct input while I'm filming the episode. So you can come to the stream tomorrow at noon. You can tell me the kind of activity you would like to see me do out here, and then that's what I'm going to film. After you guys tell me what to do, that's going to be the second half of next Friday night's episode of Huntsman. So if that video doesn't go over well, then I'm going to blame you guys, because y'all picked the topic. We're just checking out some of these briar patches right now on the way out. You want to see me use the bow? We might be able to do that. I actually got the bow setting with all of my gear. The compound bow is going to be a big thing this year, because we're going to go through how you train with your bow, how you tune your bow, all of the shit that you have to do whenever it comes to bow hunting, which is a lot different than going out with a shotgun or a rifle. You have to keep in practice with a bow. You can't just think that you're going to go out there, pull that string back, and make your hit. If you get out of practice with your bow and you don't have that thing down, you're going to miss your shot. So if you get into bow hunting or archery, that's something you got to do all the time, and you're going to find out all the details and see what happens whenever you don't, whenever I start putting that up on the channel. But we're going to get into the bow, and we're going to get into the hunting this year, and I'm trying to figure out the best format to do that. without getting, you know, in trouble with community guidelines or anything like that. I don't need no trouble just because I'm out here doing an actual hunt. I thought the boys might be up here in this briar patch, but I ain't seen no hide nor hair of them. Got some tracks leading in. Look at all that. It's like a highway. They're not even up here bedded down in the brush piles. Ooh. So, guys, this trip in here was just to come in and make sure that the trail cam was functioning properly. It is. It's been recording, but we got shit footage at this new site. Now, let me turn around here so the light's not all the way off. What happened with the cam is I had a hot spot. I mean, it was lit. We were getting 30, 35 clips every week at this one spot. And they were just coming in all the time. It was like a highway. And then I come up in here one day, and I get up, and there was snow on the ground. I get up by the cam, and I seen some human footprints going up to my trail cam, and a spot where the guy had knelt down right beside it. Now, ever since that happened, the trail cam site went dead. Like the deer had just moved up here to the north a little bit. They started walking in this half circle around that damn area where that guy had been in. So I didn't know if he like poured something in there or if he was pissing on the trees or what he was doing, but he was pushing the deer off. So I went ahead and I pulled the cam. I moved it down a little bit, found a nice little spot there to tuck it into. They had some tracks going around it, and we've had it up there for about 2 weeks now. But the deer still aren't coming up to the cam. No matter what bait I put out, they're still not coming up to the cam. So I don't know if that guy's just in here and he's just fucking up their pattern and the way they normally operate, but it's kind of getting on my nerves a little bit. And we went up there today. I only got like 7 clips on the cam. One of them's a coyote, and then we got the doe on there. Looks like a doe. It might be a buck that already dropped its antlers. I'll have to check that out more tomorrow, because after they dropped their rack, you can actually see the spot where the rack was attached. I think that was a doe, though. I think it was just a good-sized doe. So, you know, the trail cam and getting the deer on, and the wildlife on film has been a big part of my channel, and that new guy coming up in here shed hunting just fucked all that up. And then I got 3 coyotes up in here that are fucking it up too. And coyotes don't run in packs. They never actually run in packs like wolves do. The only time you'll see coyotes together is if it's a mama and her cubs. And the cubs will run with the mom for a year or 2 before they wander off and go do their own things. But coyotes do not run in packs. I got 3 of them, so that's a mom and her. Yeah, use a drone. Yeah, probably could. You know, in a perfect world, I'd be able to set my damn trail cam up and the dumb sumbitch would just leave it alone. I think there was one time I came out here and there was nothing on the trail cam at all, which means that, you know, he probably just deleted all of that footage, because I had tracks going up to the trail cam then too. He's just fucking with me, and that's fine. We're both after HB's rack. That's the big thing. HB don't have the biggest rack. He's not gonna ever be, you know, like a record buck. But me and that deer have had this relationship for the past year, so getting his rack during a drop would be really cool for me. And for this other guy, it's just about, you know, he's a collector. He don't have the kind of the personal part of it, I guess you could say. It's not gonna break my heart if I don't find HB rack. I mean, I'll keep trying until maybe, you know, I get one side or both sides or whatever. Just keep an eye on the boys and see what we can do. But that guy's really in here fucking with me. And like I said, I don't know if he's putting something down that is warding the deer off or what, but he's really changed their patterns over the last couple of weeks, and I'm trying to adjust to that, but I just don't know what the hell the guy's doing to fuck up my program out here. Anyway, I'm getting close to the front of the woods here. I can actually see my truck from where I'm at now. Like I said, this was just going to be a quick in and out, make sure the trail cam is functioning properly, so whenever I come out here tomorrow, I have a better plan of what I'm going to be doing as far as filming next week's episode goes, and laying out the trail cam site, and how to go about shed hunting in this particular woods. And then I got the woods to the south that's got that big old herd of bucks in it that I'm going to be trying to grab some racks off of too. So shed hunting is going to be a big thing the next couple of weeks, especially over the next 3 days. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. One more time, anybody that tunes into the live show tomorrow at noon, we'll be down at my Wiki Up shelter to fix lunch and get warmed up after filming tomorrow morning. You tune into that live show and you can pop up some suggestions on what you want to see in next week's episode of Huntsman. So next week's episode, at least half of the episode is going to be viewer choice. So you guys get to decide what kind of activity you want to see me do as far as the episode goes, and we're going to try to do that. Brian, I'm in Northeast Ohio. We're going to try to do that a little bit more often, where I pop up a poll, or we get a discussion in the community section of the channel, or we do a live stream like this one, and you guys can throw in some suggestions of what you want to see on the main show, which airs Friday nights at 8, and that's what you will see on the show. And it could be anything outdoors related. And like I said there earlier, if I'm able to do it, then that's what we'll do. If I'm not able to do it, or it poses some difficulties, then I will let you guys know, and we'll do that as soon as I can. It's not like I'm just going to disregard your suggestion or say, no, we're not going to do that. If I can't do it that day, then I will do it the following weeks. So you guys you'll have a lot more direct interaction with the channel and help guide the channel. I want to put out content that you guys want to see, not content that I think is, you know, just my direction. So we're going to have you guys involved a little bit more in directing the main show for the series. Sheds are starting to fall off down in Texas. Yeah, I'm way up at the top of Northeast Ohio. I'm right on the Canadian border. And the sheds, they're a little bit slower to drop up here. We come out last week and the boys still had the racks on them. We checked a herd. We actually accidentally found a herd to the south. All of the bucks in that herd still had the racks on them, but they got to be getting pretty loose. So tomorrow, whenever I come out here, after I consider how I'm going to be setting up that trail cam site and fix it up a little bit more, maybe bring them in, we're going to put up some rack snares, see if we can snag them, and do some other stuff to help keep an eye on the herd until they do drop. But in my area, those racks could be on until April. I mean, they could be on for quite a while yet. They might still be solid, I don't know. Right now it's early season for shed hunting out here, but it's one of those things where I wanted to get started early with it. That means tracking the boys, because I have a particular buck whose rack I'm trying to get, you know what I mean? If I was just out here hunting randomly, like I was just aimlessly wandering through the woods. North Carolina, nice. If I was just aimlessly wandering through the woods looking for any rack that I could find, that'd be one thing. But I'm trying to get the rack off of a very particular buck. That means tracking him from the beginning of the season all the way until I possibly find his rack laying on the ground. So that's why I'm so focused on it right now. But even though I'm focused on being out here shed hunting, which I'm going to spend the majority of tomorrow doing, I still want you guys to be involved with the channel's direction and the kind of content that you guys see up on the channel. So that's why I want to do the live stream tomorrow at noon and have you guys involved in the direction of the main show. So tomorrow at noon, you all get to pick next week's topic, basically. And I'll spend the second half of the day filming on that topic, if I'm able to. And then you tune in next Friday night at 8, and you'll get to see your suggestion on film. And we're going to do that, I think we're going to do that at least once a month. I think we can do that, right? where you guys get involved somehow, whether it's a poll, the community section, one of the social media sites, my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. You can get links to all those at the homepage of the channel. Somehow I'll communicate with you guys and find out what you want to see as far as the main show goes. You guys pick the topic, I'll cut, and that's what I'll come out here and do. So, yep, definitely tune in tomorrow at noon. Like I said, we'll be down at the camp. We're gonna fix us some lunch down there, do some bushcrafty shit at the camp, that you know, just my chores and maintenance on the camp, and then after I get your guys' suggestion, I'll come out here and film the second part of the episode. I'll show you guys something here real quick before I gotta cut this live stream off. I'm actually going out to lunch with my wife today. Her and I are going to Texas Roadhouse to knock down a steer. So I gotta be getting home, get changed, dressed up and fancy for the Texas Roadhouse, and spend some time with my wife today. You know, do the shit around the homestead. But I'll show you guys one thing here before I hop back in the truck and head on the way. Hey, there's my girl. Check this out, guys. That slightly look familiar. You see where the river's going through the woods right there? Now right over here on this point, that's where my camp is at, right in that section right there. So I have to go all the way down there to get to my wiki up. Hell of a sight, ain't it? And it's a long way down. But yeah, that over there, that section over there is where the wiki up is at. And then later on, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the channel. You see that cluster of pine right there? It's a hemlock grove. Right there is where the Cobb Cottage is at. Now that thing has been secret, top secret for the series for the past year now. But she's down there and we're gonna be going there too. So that's the view from where I'm at right now, guys. All right, I gotta wrap this up, get home to my girls, do some stuff around the house, take my wife out to eat, show her off a little bit, and then get all of my shit ready to come out here and film tomorrow. Tomorrow's my big filming day. I usually film on Sundays, then I have that week to you know, process it all up, put the episode together for Friday night, and it's like no stress. Now I was having the episode on Tuesday night, but that only gave me 1 day to get everything processed and up, and it was just a little bit too much. So we slowed that down a little bit and went back to Friday nights at 8. So one last time, guys, before I end the stream, we're gonna be out here filming tomorrow morning. First light, we'll get up here and start our shed hunt, reset that trail cam. About 11 o'clock, I'm gonna jump down that ridge and go doing the Huntsman slide to get down to camp. Once I get down to camp and get set up down there, we'll start a live stream tomorrow at noon, where you guys get to pick the second half of the episode topic wise. So definitely tune in to that live stream tomorrow at noon. Let me know what you guys want to see in next week's episode, and then I'll spend the second half of the day filming whatever your topic was. So yep, that's gonna be the end of this stream, guys. I appreciate everybody that stopped by. If I missed any of y'all's comments while I was out there fucking around, I'll make sure to respond to you in the description of or in the comment section of the video whenever I get home. Yeah, baby, I know that Kyle's calling me too. Anyway, my wife is calling me, guys. I gotta get to the roadhouse. So I don't exactly film at Texas Roadhouse while I'm eating. I'm gonna cut this stream off, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. Come on in, sit down with me. We'll have lunch, and we'll figure out what the hell we're doing in next week's episode of Huntsman. I'll see you guys later.